Shabbat Shalom, everybody, and happy Yom Yerushalayim, Jerusalem Day, which we celebrated today. This Shabbat, we read a very special Haftorah. It's not the Haftorah from the Parsha, which is Bamidbar, but instead it's a Haftorah called Machar Chodesh. Tomorrow is Rosh Chodesh. And this Haftorah is actually read specifically and only on a Shabbat when Rosh Chodesh falls on a Sunday, and not when it falls on a Saturday and a Sunday, only when it falls on a Sunday. And this usually happens 1, 2, 3 times per year that we read this special Haftorah. It's taken from the book of Shmuel, and it contains the story of David and Yonatan. And in the middle of a very tense plot line, Shaul, who's the current king, feels very threatened by David, whom God has appointed to be the next king. And Shaul is also very concerned that his own son, Yonatan, is conspiring with David, who is friends with Yonatan, to take over the kingship and to take down Shaul. It's a really suspenseful story with a beautiful message of love and friendship, and it concludes with this powerful scene in which Jonathan, and David part ways, affirming their love and their friendship with one another, and really knowing that it's no longer going to be safe for them to be together because Shaul wants to kill David. It has this beautiful line at the end which Jonathan says to David, Hashem yihiyeh beini uveincha uvein zar'i uvein zaracha ad olam. May God be witness between you and me and between your offspring and mine forever. This Haftorah is also very special to me. It happens to be the Haftorah that I read at my bar mitzvah, which was Parshat Breshit, but since Rosh Chodesh was on a Sunday, I wasn't reading the Haftorah from Breshit. So the real question to ask, though, is why do we read this special Haftorah? Even if it's a beautiful story and it's really touching and powerful to read, why do we read it? So on the surface, it actually doesn't make much sense. We don't read other special Haftarot for an approaching holiday. Even on Shabbat HaGadol, the Shabbat right before Pesach, there isn't a special Haftarah that we read. And there's really, if I think about it, only a few examples. Maybe you can think of a few more, but there's only a few examples of Haftarot that we read specifically that mention and deal with the themes of an approaching holiday. Shabbat Chazon, which is the Shabbat right before Tisha B'Av. There's also Shabbat Shuvah, which is the Shabbat right before Yom Kippur. But Yom Kippur and Tisha B'Av are major days on the Jewish calendar. Why should the day before Rosh Chodesh have the same weight? So really the most straightforward answer to this question as to why Machar Chodesh, why a Shabbat right before a Rosh Chodesh has such significance, it's really found in the Gemara in Masechet Megillah, Daf Lamed Aleph Amud Aleph 31a, which says, Chal lihiyot be'echad b'Shabbat me'etmol maftirin vayomer lo Yehonatan Machar Chodesh. So when the new moon occurs on Sunday, on the previous day, meaning Shabbat, they read the Haftorah from this portion of Machar Chodesh, which has in its first sentence of the Haftorah, Vayomer lo Yehonatan Machar Chodesh. So right away from the first sentence, you can see a reminder that Machar Chodesh, tomorrow is Rosh Chodesh. And it's almost like the rest of the Haftorah is not relevant to the theme of tomorrow being Rosh Chodesh, because just within that first sentence, we have that great reminder from the story that tomorrow is Rosh Chodesh, because within the story, it takes place on the day right before Rosh Chodesh. But Rav Moshe Lichtenstein, I saw this beautiful idea, Rav Moshe Lichtenstein of Yeshivat Har Etzion suggests something a little bit deeper. He says that Rosh Chodesh is really a monthly opportunity for us to consider our priorities in life, to take stock of where we have been in the last month, where we would like to be in the next month. It's really, in many ways, an opportunity for tshuva. It's a mini Rosh Hashanah each month, so to speak. And of course, when we say the Musaf on Rosh Chodesh, we say Zman Kapara L'chol Toldotam. We actually mention that Rosh Chodesh is an opportunity to do tshuva. And Rav Lichtenstein writes that really on Shabbat, right before Rosh Chodesh, we're standing on the doorstep, he says, of this new month. And in some ways, standing on the doorstep or standing right before you get to something can be even more significant than being in the thing itself. And on a Shabbat, especially when Rosh Chodesh is on Sunday, we have a unique opportunity, free from the stresses of our week, from everything that we've been through during the week, to assess our wants and our needs in life prior to this new month, this new Rosh Chodesh, this new Chodesh that's coming upon us. And we have a chance to reaffirm our commitments right before Rosh Chodesh happens, to just do a little bit of soul searching and spiritual work right before Rosh Chodesh to think about what is most important to us in life. And certainly, for many of us, the value of our relationships between our family and our friends takes precedence and is one of the most important values for all of us. And as you read through this Haftorah, it's something that really shines through, and it's something that this Haftorah asks us to consider through looking at this beautiful friendship and this relationship between David and Yonatan, as their friendship really takes center stage through this Haftorah. So my prayer, my blessing for all of us this Shabbat is that right before Rosh Chodesh, this Shabbat of Machar Chodesh, that we can turn to those that are most important to us and really consider everything and take stock of everything and turn to our friends and our family and say to them, just as Yonatan said to David, may God be with us both and may God be between us. Shabbat Shalom and Chodesh Tov.